Hey, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing well. My name is Omoshola Victoria Owolabi. And yeah, thank you so much for coming here week after week, for tuning in. For those of you who are here for the first time, virtual high five to you and welcome to the channel. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I really do not take that for granted. Now, on the last video, we talked about the original intent for the human existence. We talked about the real reason why we're here and why we are important to the grand scheme of things, to why without us, humans, the earth will cease to function. We are the honchos of this planet, right? And I explained in the last video what makes us truly important, that we are the zenith of God's creation. Now, if you haven't seen that video, look down in the description box below. I will be linking that video there for you to see, because if you see that one, then you will understand this one better. Okay, let's get straight into it. On today's video, we're going to be taking it one step further. We're going to be talking about the unusual advantage that makes us truly powerful. And when I mean us, I'm talking about human beings. What makes us truly powerful? What is the essence of our existence that makes us to be feared? Yes, truly powerful. That makes us invent notable, worthy inventions. We're going to be looking at that right now. Now, on the last video, I talked about, when I was talking about the original intent for our existence, I talked about our makeup, how God made us, and how God said, let us make man in our image. And God, being a triune being, also made us a triune being, first as his representation, then giving us attributes, because when the Bible says he made us according to his image, image in the original Hebrew word salem, means to the idea of representing something or someone, right? Now, according to his image, which means the mut in the Hebrew word, it means the pattern, the shape, the form. And I talked about in the last video how when God says, let us make man in our image and our likeness, image there means the idea of representation, right? And then the word likeness there means according to pattern. So if God has eyes, that's why you have eyes. If God has a nose, that's why you have a nose. If God has hands, that's why you have hands, right? And the Bible actually attests to the fact that God has these attributes that we also have as humans. Now, God being a triune being, he made us a triune being as well, which means we are spirits first. It is our spirit that is created in the image and likeness of God, right? Our spirit is like God. A lot of us try to look in the mirror to see whether our physical appearance is what is made in the image of God. No, our spirit was created first, and that was what God created in his image and likeness. And then he housed it in a body, right? He housed that image in a body, right? And that is why the body, the house, which is our bodies, is an expression of God's creativity. His boundless, his endless wonder and creativity. That is why we are all different. However, we are still a part of God. It doesn't matter how you look like, you are still a part of God. That's how amazing God is. Isn't it fascinating that in the world population of over 7 billion people, there are no two fingerprints that are alike? You do not share your fingerprints with any other person on the planet. Isn't it shocking that as many as there are people in this world, that no two people, even twins, do not have the same fingerprint? That is how boundless, how endless, how vast, large, enormous our God is, right? So he made us a triune being as well. So we consist of the spirit that looks like God, we consist of a soul, and we have the body, this beautiful body that you see, the body that allows you to exist and function on this planet called Earth, right? It is important that you watch the last video so that you understand where I'm going with this one. Okay, so you are a triune being. You consist of, you are a spirit, right? You have a soul, and you live in a body, right? So you are a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. Now, look at it as the spirit here, the body here, and the soul as the bridge, okay? Your soul is the bridge that connects the spirit and the body, because the body is physical. It is the physical attribute to you that makes you exist on this planet called Earth, right? Now, the bridge between those realms is a faculty called the soul, right? So you as a triune being, you have a spirit, you have a soul, and you have a body. Now, what is that unusual advantage that makes us truly powerful? I'll tell you now. It is the fact that you can operate in duality. You, through your soul as the bridge, as the connector, can operate in both the spiritual and the physical. That is what makes us truly powerful as human beings. Every human being has a soul. Every human being has a soul. And that soul, remember I said it's a bridge. That soul should be connected to the source of life, which is God. God is the source of life. The Bible tells us in Genesis that after he had formed man, he breathed the breath of life into him. So God is the source of life. So that soul, that bridge, on this end should be connected to God, and on the other end connected to your physical body, right? This is what makes us very different from animals and plants, right? We are a triune being that have a soul connected to the spiritual and the physical at the same time, right? Now you will see that even animals, for example, they also have to be connected to their habitat, where they're from, right? So even looking at animals, if you see a lion, for example, a lion in a jungle, that's his natural habitat. That's where it feels at home. That's where it's connected, right? I saw this photo the other day. I think it was a documentary about this family who had a lion in their house, and the lion had been domesticated, and the lion would sleep on the bed with the child, and the lion would, be in the lounge with them. That's not normal. That's unusual. It shows you that the animal is disconnected from the reality of who it is. The lion in that moment does not know that he's the king of the jungle. The lion in that moment does not know that he's a lion or it's a lion, right? So when a lion is brought from the forest into your home, say you just go and you capture a lion and you bring it into your home. I mean, we all know what is going to happen once that lion, is aware of where it's at, right? We all know its natural reaction, what it will be, unless though the lion is tamed, right? And when I say tamed, it means that the identity of the lion has been manipulated and corrupted by external factors. Normally, when you go and capture a lion, say for example, you tranquilize it from the forest and then you bring it into your home and you just leave it there, right? And the lion comes around and wakes up and realizes, oh, okay, where am I? You all know that everybody around that lion, when the lion comes back to the realization of who it is toast. Like, you all will be served as lunch for that lion. That is natural behavior. That is natural attitude. However, when it comes into a home, like the lion I was telling you in the story that I saw in this video, it has been domesticated. It's been tamed. Tamed here means its identity has been manipulated. It's been corrupted by external factors. They have done something to that lion that made it forget its original nature. They have done something to that lion that made it forget its original ability, that is the king of the jungle. And the goal is that it never knows the truth about its ability or its identity. In the same way, when we are disconnected from the source of who we are, we become corrupted and manipulated by external factors. And the goal is the same, so that we forget who we are, so that we forget our God-given abilities, and so that we can be tamed. In the last video, I said when God made us and gave us dominion, he never gave us dominion over men. He gave us dominion over the elements, over creation and creatures. He never gave us dominion over creators. But here's where the world has gone wonky. We now want dominion over men, dominion over each other. And that is where manipulation comes in, corruption comes in, and all the like. In the same way, the tactics that people use to tame wild animals is the same way they have subtly used it as an avenue to tame human beings. We were never designed to be controlled or dominated by each other as human beings. But that's what the world has become today. The goal, exactly the same way they make a lion forget it's a lion and starts to behave like a dog in the house, is the same way there are certain factors and circumstances that is designed to make us forget who we are, to make us forget the power that we hold, right? So in the same way, when you see a tree disconnected from the earth and just lying by the wayside, it is only a matter of time before the tree starts to dry up, starts to wither away, right? Because it is no longer connected to the life-giving source that it is. The same way, if you see, there was a time it was so sad that some whales beached on the sea, right? And the moment they were disconnected, was it whales or dolphin? I can't quite remember now. The moment they were disconnected from the water and they were beached on the sea, it was only a matter of time. I know there were people from the community who actually ran there to help push them back into the water, because they understood that the water is the source of their existence, right? The water is the source of their existence. The longer they stay away from the water, it is only a matter of time before they die, right? And that is the same thing for us as well. The moment we are disconnected from our source of life, which is God Himself, we start to wither away. It takes time. We start to wither away. We start to become depraved. I know people say, you know what, I'm a good person, I don't need God. No. In the Bible, when somebody went up to Jesus and says, good master, Jesus made it very clear, there is no one that is good but God. Jesus said that himself. Don't call me good. There is only one that is good, and that good person or good being is God. So I don't know why we delude ourselves and think, oh, we don't need God because we can control ourselves. We are good people. It is only a matter of time before you prove to yourself that you are not a good person. And you will be shocked. Trust me, I've tried to be a good person. You will be shocked, like, okay, did I just do that? Like, okay. So there is no other way but to submit to the one who made you and stay connected. You see that the only thing that makes us truly powerful is when we are connected to God, is when we are connected to the source of who we really are, right? Because when we disconnect from our true source of power, we start to wither, right? And unfortunately today in the society that we live in, there are systems that have been designed to tame us by moving us further and further away from who we really are. And here's the truth. Your spirit that was created in the image of God already knows what you are destined to be. And the goal is that your spirit, once you are connected, starts to deliver inspiration to take you in the direction that you are to go. But guess what? Like I said, the systems, we get scared. We are afraid. Oh, if I go in this direction, how will I feed my family? How will I pay my bills? So we start to move away from where our spirit is leading us to into the systems that have been designed to put a golden handcuffs on our hand so that we can eat, so that we can pay bills. We brush aside, we start to dumb down that inspiration, or worse, we start to try to become like other people that we admire. We admire them so much, we want to be like them. And it's so fascinating because when we do it, sometimes we do it subconsciously. We don't even know that we're trying to be somebody else until it's too late, right? But here's what I want you to know today in this video, that your spirit already knows what your purpose is, and its goal is to deliver that inspiration that you need to take you in the direction where you need to go. One time I had this revelation from the Lord, and he gave me the image of, this concentrated drinks, I don't know, cordials, right? Yeah, cordials, the ones that you have to actually dilute with water. And the Lord gave me this revelation of this cordial, and it says what a lot of us do is, let's assume that the cordial, right, the concentrated drink is your spirit, right? What we are supposed to do is to pour from that concentrated place into a cup dilute it a little bit and send it to the world and deliver it to the world, right? So it comes from the spirit, flows through your soul, and then your body delivers it. Now, what we do on the other hand is we take from our body through our soul, because the soul is a bridge. Like I said, it's a two-way street, right? We take from our body, right, by the things we consume, the media we see, the things we hear, right? You're not good enough. Who do you think you are? We take up all those things and we bring it through the soul, land it in the spirit, and we start to water down that concentration in the spirit. We start to water down who we really are. And after a while, it's not clear anymore. Is this my spirit? Is this my, I don't know what exactly is going on here. It should be the other way around. When you take from the concentration of your spirit, right, then you would filter and dilute it in a way that is palatable to be presented to the world. Because sometimes the world cannot handle our source. The world cannot handle our concentration, right? So it's not supposed to be coming from the physical into the spiritual. It's supposed to be the other way around. We serve from our spirit into the physical, right? And that was the revelation that the Lord gave me, and it was so profound. I was like, oh my goodness, right? A lot of us actually spend time. We take from our we take from the watered down things of the world and we bring it into our spirit. Instead of taking from the concentration of our spirit that is made in the image and likeness of God, and then serve it to the world in the way that the world can consume, right? That is how it's supposed to be, not the other way around. Thank you so much for listening to this video. And if you want to learn more, I have a fantastic masterclass that I've created. It's called Mogul Mindset. If you go to www.mogul.icandemy.org, you will find the masterclass there. Sign up and watch that masterclass. I promise it will blow your mind. I share a lot of tips and tricks on how you can become the highest and truest version of yourself, how you can overcome fear and begin to live the life that you know you have been designed to live. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are in the comment section below. I want to engage with you. I want us to have this conversation, because this is never a monologue. This is a conversation that I would love for us to keep having. I also want to learn from you. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the things that make us truly powerful? What is our advantage as human beings that you have seen, that you have learned in your own life? Thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next one, keep on shining.